Hey guys, so in this video, I want to talk about how introvert intuition manifests in the INFP and what you could learn from how it manifests so that we could make our lives better. So this is kind of exercise in self-awareness because introvert intuition is actually a very central and core part of the INFP functioning. So INFPs, as we know, we value, because I'm an INFP as well, we value introvert feeling and we value extrovert intuition. But we actually have a very strong introvert intuition. It's not very easy for us to notice that first because introvert intuition is actually a really subconscious kind of function. So in sociology, they would say like your demonstrative function, which is how introvert intuition is for us. It's like a fish that does not know that it's wet because it's so used to being in the water. So it's not aware that it's in the water. So we are actually swimming in introvert intuition all the time. We're just not aware of it. So I kind of want to talk about how that looks like. So if you look at INFPs, even in our very, if you do a kind of a moment-by-moment analysis of us, how we present ourselves in real time, we actually have a very, very measured look. So this is actually introvert intuition. Introvert intuition tries to anticipate for possible dangers, possible consequences that may arise. So we're actually very measured and we tend to be very restrained people. And you can always see us like we're kind of like we're watching for that possibility of, we're watching and anticipating for potential consequences all the time. So often this manifests in introvert intuition trying to serve introvert feeling. So introvert feeling is actually what we value. So introvert intuition is really like a tool. So we try not to say things that would potentially cause disruption and offense in the other person, or we try not to get into situations that would cause potential conflict because we have very weak expert sensing. Expert sensing is when you encounter pressure and potential conflict in your life and knowing how to deal with that in the moment. Since we're very sensitive to dealing with expert sensing in a moment. We try to prepare for conflict beforehand. We try to avoid it and shift away from it beforehand. So this is actually introvert intuition. We try not to get ourselves in messes that we cannot get ourselves out of. So if you look at ENFPs, for example, they're a very similar type to us. They don't value expert sensing, but they have stronger expert sensing. So they do get themselves in messes and challenges that they regret later on of getting themselves into. So it's because they're often driven by their intellectual curiosity, expert intuition, but they have relatively stronger expert sensing, so they actually are more likely to pursue those possibilities more and get themselves in very complex messes that they really wish they did not get themselves into. Same thing with ENTPs in a way. INFPs try to prevent themselves beforehand from getting into these messes. We tend to be very measured as a result. So we're preemptively checking for expert sensing all the time. Every type deals with their polar function in a very different way. We do it by watching for expert sensing beforehand and avoiding any potential conflict that results from that. So the next thing is how introvert intuition and introvert sensing relate to each other. I would say the motivation for us for watching for potential dangers and consequences is that it's a way for us to support our introvert sensing. So introvert sensing wants a homeostasis. It wants a calm, comforting, anodyne kind of environment. And we don't want that kind of disruption, okay? Our introverted sensing is already very weak. It's already pretty weak and very sensitive. So we are trying to do anything to kind of support it. So we're using our strength of introverted intuition. So introverted intuition is strong. It's watching for all these potential conflicts and things that are potentially pressure producing, anxiety producing things in an environment, and avoid that so that we can keep our calm, cool, introverted sensing environment. So we're trying to avoid a certain kind of intensity in the social environment. This is also because we don't value extrovert feeling. We don't like too much intense emotionality in the environment. We like to have, if there's too strong an emotional environment, we might want to withdraw from that. So what we do is we try to prepare for that beforehand. We want to not get ourselves into extrovert feeling kind of messes. Because the thing is, we are introvert feelers. So introvert feelers, we tend to, as introvert feelers, we tend to have a lot of emotional tumultuous feelings inside.